And we're streaming.
And we're streaming.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. We're going to be getting this show started here in just a second. Giving everyone time to kind of get their chat skills going and everything. Please join us. If you're hearing us, try to jump on the Twitch, twitch.com/Malice Corp. So you can join in with the live chat stream. If you're watching this later, yeah, when we send that tweet out, man, get on this show and come join us because it's going to be fun. It's going to be all about Stomping Grounds and a recent trip Masonic Vader had myself to a house show. So we're going to get things rolling. Let's start the show.
Getting ready to seize your first opportunity to come into the ring and start grandstanding and hot dogging, yeah!
I can't help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long.
When we speak, our voices are heard. We all say, I bring it.
Welcome to Malice Stack Talk, where we're going to be talking about stomping grounds, but we're going to be stomping some mud holes tonight like good old Steve Austin. Yes, sir. I am your host, Masonic Vader. Yes, I should have worn the 316 shirt, but I decided to wear the current version of 316, my new found treasure, Becky Lynch. Hey, we have with us tonight Mindfreak. How you doing, sir?
I'm here, everybody. We missed you guys last week. We're glad to be back. But as you notice, it's just me and Vader here. Bearded Master is on assignment once again. But don't we have a special guest tonight? I wonder who?
We got a special guest registered.
Who?
We have joining us. Introduce yourself, sir.
I am known as Gordita Crunchwrap, the brother of Nacho Libre.
Oh man!
Oh, Gordita, straight from the what is it? The Lucha Libre League.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this.
All right.
Not quite as famous, but I came here because Bearded Master was not able to join, so I decided that I would give his picks for you guys.
And he's rocking the old WCW Heavyweight Championship on us.
Yeah.
Just stole my kid's WWE belt. I got him at the house show.
How did I know we were doing belts? I would have got my IC title, bro.
Yeah, no joke. So we got our special guest for tonight as Gordita Crutch. Good God, making me hungry all of a sudden.
I know, right?
Yeah, as my freak mentioned, Bearded Master is out on assignment. He's at the movies eating popcorn with the coach. So enjoy those movies, sir. Yeah, I know you're not going to be jumping in here. Hey, this is a great week. We've got a new pay-per-view happening this week with WWE. But before we jump into everything this week, let's talk about what happened at the last pay-per-view. Now, for the most part, we know that a majority of WWE fans or any wrestling fans, that's a plus or minus show. You're either going to watch it because you're a fan or you're not because you're a fan. I mean, it's just I hate to say it, but it's that type of show where it's not getting positive traction because of the situation it is.
I'll be the first to admit I didn't watch it. I had it for what it was last year. This year, it didn't excite me like Super Showdown down in Australia did.
Yeah, no, and there was a lot of stuff going on with that show. I mean, the 50th Battle Royal and everything like that.
Yeah. Anyway,
hey, so we got the results from that week.
We did.
There's a tie.
There's a tie. What? Oh wait, yeah, I know. Ready? Air 5.
Higher 5.
Boom.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
First place. Bearded Master sitting in the movie theater, crying in his popcorn.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, no, it's crazy that we tied, and it was literally down to like 2 matches. Had we both there's matches we were both thinking that could have gone either way, and had we made the other call, it could have gone so differently. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, yes, Bearded Master lost. You have caught up a little bit, sir. But I think with this one, I think I'm only like 1 point behind him now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to get those points. Next week.
I think it's safe to say, and still your current reigning WWE pay-per-view champion. Yeah, I threw that out there.
For a second, I was getting nervous because it almost started like you were going to do a Paul Heyman, and then you did it with a New Day. So now I'm getting sick. Come on, dude. You couldn't even gyrate the hips with it. Come on, man. And you got to get a better chair for that one.
I mean, it'd be pretty bad, but I mean.
Oh my God.
Oh, where is my Boodio shirt at? I need my Boodio shirt right now.
Oh my gosh, Nacho, you take over, buddy. I'm out of here, man.
All right.
No. My brother is Nacho. I am Crunchwrap, Gordita Crunchwrap.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, yes. Not a sponsor.
Oh man. All right, so we got our Stomping Grounds pick. Before we jump into Stomping Grounds this week, last week I was able on Father's Day to take my son to his first ever live pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view, live event. We went to the local house show down in San Diego at the famed, well, they call it something else. It's the Sports Arena, all right? The San Diego
Sports Arena.
Absolutely.
San Diego Gulls and occasionally WWE events.
and the Sockers. Don't forget the Sockers.
Oh, yeah, the Sockers.
Yeah. So I got to tell you, this was the first house show I've seen probably since, gosh, man, before high school. I've been to other events, but they were more of the Raw or SmackDown kind of caliber. So this was the first live event. I'm going to tell you right now, the live show, I thoroughly enjoyed myself at that live show. You could tell I had some really good seats. I was 9 rows back, right on the aisle. Did not even, I wish I could say I could take credit for that, but that was total luck. Right on the aisle. And I can tell you the wrestlers, you could see there's a lot of appreciation for the fans that go to these. Wasn't filled. If you're aware with the sports, if you're aware of the sports arena, it's got the ring, it's going to have the floor seats, it's going to have a next level up, and then it's going to have the upper level.
I've been to SmackDown there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know the venue.
Upper level was totally blacked out. The seats, the ring, they had just the mini Titan with the ring and the small ramp. The seats behind it weren't taken. Probably about 3/4 of the seats in the second level were taken. It was probably about 4,000 people. It was almost like an NXT show.
Oh wow!
But I'll tell you, the fans were into it. The wrestlers were definitely into it. The intimate kind of part of it versus the television, the wrestlers were more going to the fans. So if you're on those aisles like we were, as you can see by some of those pictures and videos, those wrestlers came up to us. They were giving high fives. They were walking out. But they were in character at the same time. So it started off with having a fatal 4-way for the tag team champions. And, we got to see the Good Brothers come out and whatnot. We saw the new tag team champs. And I'm going to tell you, Dash and Wilder, dude, those guys in person, their bar went up a little bit with me, man. I was thoroughly impressed with them in person and the way that they were with the fans being total dicks. Like this kid right next to us was holding out his hand and Dash was like, "Oh, you want to hold the bell? You want to hold the bell?" He's like, "No." And he did it like for a good 30 seconds. I think I got some good video of it I'll post later. But Dash Wilder was out there. Rey Mysterio made an appearance. They did a fatal 4-way for the United States Championship. And the one thing I do remember about the house shows, and they did it here, is they're like practice for what you're going to see the next night on Raw, because that match was literally the same match. In fact, even my kid said something there. I was like, "Hey, we saw that match." I was like, "No, this one's live." He's like, "No, we saw it last night. Is this the same thing?" So it was great. Ricochet came out. Fans were on hot fire. Rey Mysterio came out, which was a highlight. My kid got a selfie next to him. You could tell he's still injured, though. He was really kind of at the end. He was holding that shoulder up at the end of the match. But he came out, and he's 619, so that was the biggest pop of the night. And then you got a bunch of the other matches that had the highlights was definitely the two main events. There was Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. Guess how it turned out, and guess how you saw it the next night. Baron Corbin, though, was pretty spot on, man. He had a good night. He even wrestled without the vest. It was just a T-shirt. So Seth Rollins had that place going. He was awesome. and then the triple threat match, Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans versus, now it was supposed to be originally Alexa Bliss, but they put in Natalya in her place. I was the only one wearing a Lacey Evans shirt, hence the reason why when you see that video, she comes right up to me, but she won't touch me because I'm a nasty. Everyone's a nasty to her. But she came right up to me. She saw that shirt. I was pointing it out. And then in true fashion, as soon as Becky Lynch came out, I had this shirt because I bought this sweet swag.
So you had that one under, so you took it off?
No, I didn't take it off. I just put it over.
Okay.
And you can hear me comment, so let me get the other shirt. And I put it right on there. I was like, yeah. And she came out and she came off to the side. And my kid got a high five from everybody.
That's awesome.
Pretty much. I would say about 90% of the roster, he was able to get a high five off me, even the baddies. All in all, it was about a 2.5 hour show, almost 3. A little break in between. Man, I was happy. It was a great time. My kid enjoyed it. And, I used to crap on the house shows. I'll never do that again, especially seeing it from a father's point of view. It was a wonderful time. And I want to thank, if any of you guys ever get to watch this, WWE wrestlers that were there, Rey Mysterio, Becky Lynch, you guys were awesome. Lacey Evans, thank you guys so much for making my kids' night, my Father's Day, awesome.
Nice.
So,
yeah, I was gonna bring that up, and you kind of pointed it out too. Watching a show live versus like being at a house show where it isn't live, could you tell a difference? Not necessarily like in like the televised production value, but like like you brought up, like the what's the word I'm looking for? Interactions. There it is. The interactions with the fans a lot more. But do you feel that watching a live show, do you have more appreciation for watching the live show? Like the televised show, or do you prefer watching more of the house shows?
Okay.
If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm trying to say? Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate the live shows for the interaction and to be able to see them. It's hard to watch the matches, though, because the cameras do the matches justice. We know that these guys, 80% of the time, are getting punched. They're blocking it somehow. They're working with it and everything. You see that a lot more with the live shows when you see it in person, especially when you're close to the ring. There were some people got popped and jumping off the top rope and everything. I know people say, oh, wrestling's fake. You know what? You can say what it is, but I've jumped off the top rope once on that plyboard, and I will never do it again. It hurts. So that stuff is still there. I like the cameras for the matches, but I'd rather do that live show, man, and get that connection there. So, and Pete in the chat room, thanks Pete for joining up, man. Yeah, I'm talking too much.
I was going to say that since you brought it up, you have to give a proper welcome and say, welcome Pete to the chat room. So thank you for joining us, Pete, into the chat room.
Now, yes, Pete, welcome. Good to have you back, man. Great to see you. It's going to be one of these shows, man. We've said it.
And our producers in the chat room, too. All right.
But like you said, though, going to the house show versus, like, you've been to one that's been televised, right?
Yeah.
Which one, like, seeing it live, which one do you prefer to watch live?
I like, you know what? Once again, I'm going to go to the house show. Because the thing with the television, you've got the commercial breaks, you got all the other stuff, and what you people don't realize when you're watching if you haven't been to a live Raw or anything like that, on those commercial breaks, they're not playing any music. It all goes dead. People are just sitting around, kind of like waiting for everything to start up again. About 10 seconds before the music starts up again, and you're like, dude, that's lame. So, and if you enjoy watching SmackDown on Hulu for an hour and a half versus the 2 hours, there's your half-hour commercials gone.
Now, would you say that depending on where you're sitting plays a big factor as well?
Yes.
Because I mean, if you're not next to the people to shake hands and everything. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Once again, though, the interaction with the fans, even in the second row, even in the second section, everything. Wrestlers did a good job of trying to make themselves known out there and noticed. I saw one guy, and this is the touching night, and this is where I give WWE a lot of credit. There was a fan in the front row, disabled in a wheelchair, type of disability where he's not able to move around and stuff. And I want to say about 75% of those wrestlers went over and gave him propers The Usos definitely came over and signed. I mean, most of them signed his shirt. I think one of the Usos gave his shirt to him or something.
Nice.
I mean, ultimately, that guy, he was right there, and all the wrestlers took a couple extra seconds to say hi to him and stuff. That was touching to see that, man, because that's cool stuff. That's what WWE, I think, does a good job with. So the seats, yeah, if you're in the second section, it probably looks a little bit better on the matches. You don't see up close takes and bumps and stuff. But all in all, I still would take this live show versus Raw or SmackDown, because I think, once again, that intimacy. If you want that one-on-one personal attention, and if you want to hang out afterwards and see some wrestlers, because some of them are hanging out, by all means, go to a live show. So house show is a way to do it. Recently, the Bellas had some television interviews. This just came out, I think, a couple days ago, and we were kind of. Bellas came in, and I thought they were going to get another push, and they even mentioned it in the interview that I thought they were going to get a push for that tag team title, especially since what they've done for the last 10 years for the WWE. They had a candid interview on, I think it was Good Morning America or something, and we come to find out the real reason why they did not get the tag team titles, and it was something I think I might have mentioned, but I didn't know the extent of it. But Nikki Bella was forced to retire due to complications from her surgery. So
no. It was on Jimmy Fallon.
There was more.
So
stuff.
It was more what they found out. What they found out after the surgeries and stuff like that. She was getting ready to go back and wrestle, and she has a cyst on her brain, and they were like, "No, you are not allowed to wrestle anymore."
No, I was getting to that. So they had, so the first injury she mentioned was the
herniated disc.
Herniated disc above the surgery. There was a lot of swelling going on around there, but then they said that there was a cyst on her brain, and that officially retired her at that point.
She said the herniated disc and all that stuff she was going to still be able to come back to, but then they surprisingly found the cyst out, and they were just like, that's a no-go, because if that thing bursts, there's death in the ring.
Absolutely, yeah. And then that just made it to where Bree said, all right, I'm done. I got a family to take care of. Daniel could bring the paychecks home. So, she's probably bringing more money home than him with all the stuff she does inside now. So, that kind of sucked. I mean, I know there's feelings about Nikki and Belle that there was that they were almost like a given. Like they wrote it long enough to where they were just giving stuff. But to be perfectly frank, they made that 10-year career from eye candy twins to legitimate wrestlers and potential Hall of Fame somewhere down the line, I think, for the both of them.
Oh, absolutely. That's without a doubt. For what they both did to kind of help the revolution to the evolution for the women's wrestling in WWE, absolutely 100%.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it sucks to see, I mean, they're twins and all that stuff, but, Nikki and Brie, it's always fun watching them in the ring. But, it sucks when, injuries and stuff like that happen that cause them to force to retire. But it's understandable. So, Nikki, if you're watching, best of health, luck getting your health back and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway from it. That's the awesome thing about it, is that, at least it was caught early enough to not have a major accident happen and stuff like that. So
absolutely, yeah, and that's the good thing about how wrestling is nowadays. The medical staff behind the scenes is a hell of a lot better. They're catching this stuff, so they don't have any problems in the future, and hopefully, because there's a big thing with how wrestlers are dying early, 50s and 60s, and sometimes in the 40s, and all this other stuff going on with concussions and stuff like that, that it's great that they have stepped up their game when it comes to that medical aspect of it, so they could find this stuff and say, hey, no, you're done. Your life is more important than being in the ring. And it seems like that never ends with them, though. Like Nikki Bella, for example, is still out there doing things in public eye. People still know who she is, regardless if she's dating somebody or not.
And of course they're still going to be affiliated with WWE in other different ways with what they do.
Absolutely,
but it's just not going to be like as an in-ring performer.
Yeah, no, absolutely not, which is good. So, speedy recovery. Hopefully everything goes away, but I hope you stay on TV.
Nice.
But that being said, I think we should move on to what this show is all about. This is about Stomping Grounds.
Stomping Grounds.
The new WWE pay-per-view.
Replacing Battlegrounds.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I was trying to figure that out. I should have put 2 and 2 together. Yeah. Which is kind of weird because I thought the Battlegrounds was good because it was Raw versus SmackDown. Now it's just
it kind of was, but the Stomping Grounds, I think, just trying to rebrand it, rebrand like a name of like a, not like a big pay-per-view, but a smaller one,
Yeah, it's gonna be
try to like revamp it, give it like a new like feel kind of to it, kind of thing.
First off, we gotta give a quick shout out to our host MALICE-Corp. They've been letting us do this now for over a year. It's a great site to check out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same channel, twitch.com/Malice Corp. You'll be having our main cast, all things new Nerdcast. So thank you, Malice Corp, for letting us continue the show, and we appreciate you putting up with Gordito Supreme.
You went from Gordito to Gordito.
Not a sponsor.
At some point, we're just going to call him Gordo Supreme.
Oh, man.
Guys, this is literally going to be the funniest show you've seen ever.
By the way, if you are watching this on Stitch or listening to this on Stitcher or Spotify or any of the visual one, the vocal ones, and you want to see what's going on, you should come to YouTube or Twitch to watch it, and you can.
We need to use this as the thumbnail for this episode.
At the Malice Corp channel.
This has to be the thumbnail for this episode.
I think we should hire this guy permanently, man.
I think we do too. Forget Bearded Master, get him out of here. No, I'm just kidding.
He could be our backup guy, or even the fourth.
Bearded Master's the backup. He's getting demoted.
No. All right, so let's get into Stomping Grounds.
Let's get into Stomping Grounds. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
9.
8, 9, 10 matches. 10 matches, and actually there are, oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 title matches.
Yeah.
7 title matches. So they're going through with this. Now, here's the funny thing about this. I don't know if you heard this, but one of the major concerns about the new pay-per-view is they can't sell it out. The Tacoma Dome, I think, at this point still has tickets. Or wherever.
Where's that?
The Stomping Grounds, the pay-per-view this Sunday.
Where is it at? Is what I'm saying.
Tacoma. I don't know what the
Washington.
Yeah.
On a Sunday.
Yeah.
You want to leave at 4 a.m.? We could probably make it there in like 12 hours.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be cooking a bunch of turkey legs and ribs this weekend.
Is it in Tacoma, Washington, or is it in a really, really big Tacoma truck? Because that's
it's at the Tacoma Superdome. If it's in
so
Tacoma,
that is in Washington. That's not just named after the Toyota.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Up north.
Yeah, no, there's a city called Tacoma, Washington. I know you're not familiar with the United States, Gordito. It's okay. We got you, bro.
That's not true. He's probably traveled all throughout. Come on now.
Yeah, maybe New Japan, here and there.
Yeah. So let's start off. Let's do now. If you've watched our show, if you listen to our show, we always like to kind of do the non-title matches first. Now, from what I understand, Gordita double stack extra cheese. You're going to be giving us the picks for Bearded Master. Is that correct?
I will be giving you the picks that Bearded Master. I don't know why he made these picks, but I will give them to you. And you can decide if you want to go along with them or if you.
I saw his tweet about it. I ain't doing nothing about that. Senior Crunch Wrap choking people out. Yes. B coming through.
Both literally and figuratively.
I'm telling you right now, by the end of this match, I think you're going to have a name that's going to be so long they can't even put it on the driver's license, man.
I think the sad thing about his accent is I can't tell if he's trying to be like Nacho Libre or if he's like doing a really bad Adam Sandler impression. I can't figure it out.
Or Adam Sandler doing an impression of Nacho Libre.
Is that the Adam Sandler goat? Is that the one we're talking about?
It might be. He chipped my horn.
Oh man. Dang, Bearded Master, you were missing out tonight, man. We might have to bring you back, Gordita Crunch.
We might need to have an interview where Bearded Master is interviewing Gordita Crunch
with
Supreme.
the amount of time that I know that Mindfreak misses here, I'm sure I may pop back up. So I've heard he's always not.
Hey! Bearded Master has missed more than me this last month and a half. Okay.
Wow, the last month. Well, apparently this guy watches our show a lot because he knows that last month and a half is nothing in comparison to the freaking 9 or 10 months before it. I mean,
you know, it's funny that he's on the show when Bearded Master isn't here, so that's saying something.
Maybe it's Bearded Master.
There it is.
Oh, I don't see the hair coming out of that thing.
No. I don't know that this would be able to. You would be able to. Like if I was Bearded Master, the beard would have to be wrapped all the way up above my head to tie down.
Well, like the dude in the movie that took his beard and tied it off as a toupee.
It would be like Cousin It.
Yes,
with a mask on. Oh man. God, I hope he doesn't win with those crazy picks.
I hope he doesn't either. Yeah. I hope he doesn't either.
All right, so let's start this off. So
if he does, it will be the crunch wrap power that gives it to him.
Double the meat, double the beef. Not a sponsor.
Or is it the extra hot sauce?
Actually, that might be where he got the picks from. You know how they have the wording on the writing of the hot sauces. They may have just wrote all the names on there.
It's hot sauce fortune cookie matches.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Oh my gosh, yes. So let's start off. So I think some of these matches just got it added within the last couple days. There's actually only 2 non-title matches. Excuse me. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 matches, sorry. So the first non-title match is a tag team match between the New Day and KO and Sami. This is stemmed on for the last couple months when KO was the honorary New Day member.
There you go.
Yeah, and 2 weeks later decided to poo all over that. And then the return of Sami Zayn.
And then the return of Big E.
Yeah, and then Big E. So we've got a nice little feud going on here. Throw it in, I think, within the last couple days. I'm going to start off with this one, and I'm just going to say I'm going to give it to KO and Sami. And the reason why is a twofold thing. First of all, they need to push harder than New Day. New Day can lose these matches 10 times over, and they'll never lose their pop. They'll come out, and everyone's still going to cheer for them. KO and Sami, because they've been on these long hiatuses, and to be perfectly frank, since they came back, there has been some matches in the ring, but they haven't been long or they've been interfered. So this is going to be a good one for KO and Sami to pull out to really boost this rivalry that I think could really go through SummerSlam with Kofi as well moving into it. Who knows? Maybe there's another faction that forms with the other person we'll talk later. But I'm giving this one to KO and Sami for the win.
Okay. I'm actually going to agree with you on this one too. I know I always get ripped on Mo. My freak agrees, blah blah blah. No, I'm for a lot of the same reasons, but also too. I mean, in traditional WWE fashion, sometimes watching the 2 shows before the pay-per-view, 75% of the time you know who's going to win based on what happens at the show. The fact that KO and Sami lost both nights this week, I think it sets them up for the win this week. So KO and Sami.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're in the chat room, please put your picks in there. We'll throw it in there as well. So please let us know who you think's gonna win that one.
The number 3 Gordita Crunch Supreme with the taco and Mountain Dew on the side. What's your pick for a bearded one?
When I was looking at the list for bearded one, he is bearded one. Why am I calling it the Bearded Master? His pick for this match is the New Day. I think the reason being is that he was watching E3 and he saw Xavier getting really working out those thumbs, getting him set up for the playing the video games that he's going to come in and win.
Oh man! Hey,
he was practicing Gears 5. He was really practicing Gears 5. So
yes, and don't forget he had the Fortnite Pro-Am tournament like 2 days later too.
You know what? I think that's going to be detrimental. I don't think Xavier Woods going to be top of his game, man. He might get like some kind of cramp in his punching fist or something, dude. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe.
But Pete put in Team KO. He's joining the league. Yeah.
He's joining the KO league. All right.
I feel good with that pick. I think we're going to be all right with that one.
I'm just glad that you guys started out without picking the same picks for everybody. So that's the hopeful thing.
Well, like I said, I think Bearded Master might have been slightly adult beveraged over when he made these picks. I'm not sure because he even said himself he's either going to look like a genius or going to look like that fork guy from Toy Story 4. Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
All right, so the other non-title match, which is actually what I'm looking forward to seeing, is Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Now, before we go into picks, I will tell you, I'm going to step back for a second. The other reason why I like live shows versus television shows is I don't have to hear Michael Cole say, "It's the big dog," or
"Thank you." How long have I been saying this for?
Oh my God!
How long?
It was beautiful. It was like the match was over. The next group came out. You heard the ring announcer. You didn't hear Michael. "It's the big dog." Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Hashtag not a sponsor. All right. So Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Excuse me. Ricochet was up. Hey,
I'll start this one.
No, you want to start that one, or you go first?
I'll start this one. I'll go ahead and start this one. So like you kind of said, back with the New Day, it's Roman Reigns. He could win a match, he could lose a match. It's still going to be Roman Reigns. But with that being said, he has the last couple of matches, just to progress the storyline. The fact that McMahon's the storyline, but anyway, for sure, I think Roman's actually going to get this one over Drew McIntyre. It's time, with how many times McIntyre's being like, "I put Roman down before, I'll do it again," this and that. I think this sets up Roman even more by defeating McIntyre to start crumbling away at that little stable that Shane McMahon has built around himself, and kind of just continue progressing that storyline later on down the road. So I'm going with Roman. Never go wrong with the big dog.
All right. Thank you very much.
Pete, real quick, Pete in the chat throwing up "it's boss time." That's the other one I hate more. I hated that so much. So much.
It's boss time.
I hate that so much that I can go on a rant on you.
All right. Grilled stuffed chalupa burrito.
As you know, a Bearded Master has a huge man crush on this man, and I believe that's where he's at tonight. He actually had to go pay his love and respect for Roman Reigns, is who his pick is on this match.
He's sharing popcorn with Roman Reigns. Is that what you're saying? He's at the movie sharing popcorns with Roman Reigns right now.
Only if their fingers entwine. He loves him so much.
He does. I think this is where we're going to start seeing some divisions now, because I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre on this one. And the only reason why I think I need to go with Drew McIntyre is because of the fact that we need this. The Shane McMahon, this whole thing is pissing everybody off because it goes totally against what they thought as far as, hey, this is going to be about the people and it's not going to be about the managers and it's not going to be about us, and yet it's all about them all of a sudden. And as I mentioned in the last pay-per-view, someone got the win on that one.
Yes, you did.
It's going to happen again. They're going to let this win go to Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre has been losing matches lately. So they need,
no.
Yeah, he has not won the big matches. Maybe a couple of small ones, but the big matches he's lost, or there's been interference and there's been a DQ or something. What they're going to do,
I can see it.
Yeah, they're going to give this one to Drew. Roman Reigns could still survive a loss, And this is going to be one of the headline matches for SummerSlam. It's going to be a rematch of Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre because it should be. I really do think this would be a great match to have. And just get rid of the Shane McMahon crap. Just make it one-on-one and let's just see who gets knocked the snot out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, and Pete in the chat is calling Roman for the win by DQ and then a Roman beatdown.
All right.
Did I miss that, or did Masonic Vader just do a Porky Pig when he was talking?
Drew McIntyre.
I can't only talk trash about Bearded Master if I'm going to be here.
Right. I got you. All right, that's cool.
He's already hit Bearded one. He's hit me. Now it's your turn, baby.
Yeah, I'll take it. All right, so we got the non-title matches out of the way. We got those good to go. Let's move on to some titles. So we've got it almost seems like every single title's on the line other than the 24/7 in the NXT because maybe 24/7 will be on the line. We don't know.
Out of curiosity, do you think that that's due to the factor that like the last two pay-per-views didn't have a lot of matches on the line, and the other one was where nothing really mattered anyways out in that they put somebody on the line?
It's hard to say.
It's hard
WWE, and in fact, if you look at a lot of the stuff, like I was looking at some of the articles online today and everything, a lot of people are recognizing the fact that WWE creativity has been in the shitter the last months. And it's they're only talking the main shows. The shows that we always talk about that are freaking phenomenal right now because of the writing and stuff at 205, NXT UK, those shows aren't being touched. And they're starting to recognize.
Well, they are and they aren't because we know who's behind those other ones versus who's behind the main shows. So that takes a lot of the creativity control over it too.
Yeah,
and this is something we've been saying for like the last year. Once Triple H takes over the main shows, you know the writing's getting better.
Yeah. Now going back to your question, I do think that them putting all the belts on the line in the way that they're doing this is because of that. However, it's still getting ruined by this McMahon interjection. Like I'd rather have it Shane versus freaking Stephanie or even Vince at this point, but it's still too much. And, but it is, I do want to say it's definitely, it's a positive on that.
Yeah, so Pete brings up a point in the chat, and this question is going to be for you. Mr. Senor Tortilla Chalupa, when are you going to enter the WWE and beat Drake Maverick?
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you want to get the creativity better, you bring the Gordita to the ring. And you, with my special move, the Cinnamon Twist.
Hey, jeez.
I will tell you, I have seen clips of the Gordita Crunch Cinnamon Twist, and it is a fantastic finishing move. Like it's on par with the RKO as being like one of the most dominant, efficient finishing moves out there. I would say that.
I would be very happy to see that because I would want to see the 1, 2, 3 Doritos Los Tacos combo, not a sponsor. Oh man. So all right. So I guess it's
title time.
I guess I'm first up on the picks for this one. Let's start off with the 205 championship. We've got a triple threat match. It's Tony Nese versus Drew McIntyre, Drew Gulak and Akira Tozawa. This is going to be a great match. This is going to be a very entertaining match. This will be a sleeper match.
Yes.
If you're not watching 205, you are missing. They have revamped that show, and it's gotten a lot better. And they're introducing more people. They're actually bringing people in from like Oney Lorcan's in it now. Drew Gulak's back in it. Not so much the Lucha House Party, which they were there at the live show. There's been a lot of good competition lately. Tony Nese has taken the belt and has had a great like physical well, not physical, just had a great run as general. He hasn't had a lot of matches. There's been a lot of trying to vamp up other players around him, and he's just kind of like being the sideshow, the commentator, challenging people or waiting for his challenge. And he's been a good champion. However, I am not going to pick Tony Nese, and I am not going to pick Akira Tozawa. I am going to pick Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak has had the best heat on the show. He's had a lot of solid matches. I dare to say I think he's the best performer on that show right now, and he's not one of the – he's like 204. I want to say he's 210, but they're telling him he's 202 or whatever because he wants to be in there. He is an awesome competitor, and he's due for a title. He has not had one, and this is his match he's going to win. Let's see here. We're going to go with the Fiesta Taco Salad.
Okay.
What's Bearded Master picking for this one?
Well, what I'd like to say about what your pick was, that was like going to a strip club with no money, a lot of build up with no payoff. I'm talking about Tony Nese, because that's what the Bearded Master takes. He likes to choose the very nice. So Tony Nese is his pick.
Very nice.
Long hair guys, huh? All right.
Because it's very nice.
So,
reaching.
Come on,
we gotta take the
Borat thing.
yes. P in the chat, he's gonna go with Drew Gulak. That's who his pick
is. Don't change your pick. Pick him.
Once again, we've talked about the fact that the Bearded Master's picks are way out there. Like he's
either a drunk idiot or a bearded master.
Or a drunken master.
Or a drunken master. There it is.
Yeah.
So, with the same thing you said about Drew Gulak, I agree. He is one of the top performers on 205 Live right now. He does have a lot of heat on them, but you also made a very interesting point as well. Tony Nese really hasn't had that many matches, So to kind of what I think they're kind of doing, and this is what I think, like you said, it has been getting it. 205 has had that new life brought into it. It's getting a lot more entertaining. Once again, I'm excited to to start watching 205 again a little bit more. I start seeing more clips and stuff, so my interest is peaked back into it. With all that being said, I'm going to go with Tony Nese because he is going to lose the title to Drew Gulak, just not now. I think it may happen a little ways in the future. I can see it happening, but just not now. So, and that's my reasoning behind that. So, I'm on board with the drunken master on this one.
Well, I thought you were going to say I'm going to pick Tony Nese because it wouldn't be a Smack Talk episode if I didn't agree with him on at least one pick.
Exactly. That is 100% accurate. His pick went first before mine, so it is now officially a Smack Talk show, guys.
Classic bean and cheese burrito,
buddy. Extra cheese, no onion. Let's go.
Okay, so we've gotten through the 205 title. Let's see here. Next one, let's go with the U.S. title.
Yes.
Samoa Joe versus Ricochet.
Let's let our special guest star, Nachos Bro Grande, go with this one. Hashtag not a sponsor.
Well, I'm going to bounce it off me and throw it back to you because he picks Ricochet for his pick.
Oh!
Like a cheesy potato griller that he is.
Vader.
Not a sponsor. This is going to be a really good match. However, I as much as I want to say Ricochet is going to win, Samoa Joe has lost his title to too many small people lately. And nothing against them. They're all great wrestlers, but it's going to get to a point where this persona of Samoa Joe coming out to a Godzilla roar is going to be nothing. Samoa Joe is a badass. He's proven it. He's earned his spot. He's just not taking stuff. He's earning his stuff. And I don't want to see him drop another title anytime soon because of the fact that once Rey Mysterio gets better, which looks like he is getting better as seeing him at the live show and everything. That will probably be one of the matches at the SummerSlam. Will be Samoa Joe winning or going against Rey Mysterio. So it's going to be an entertaining match. I saw it at the live event. Ricochet is definitely up for it. He was hitting some solid stuff. Ultimately, though, his star is going to continue to rise, and Samoa Joe is going to keep the belt.
Yep. And 100% agree with you on that, Vader. It's the fact that I'm a fan of Ricochet. Yes, I absolutely love Ricochet, but I'm also a Samoa Joe fan. And given what happened when Joe lost it to Mysterio, but then Mysterio had to relinquish it. You absolutely right. You set that fight. You set that match up for another time where Mysterio does get the win over Joe. But like you said, he can't lose to small guys like 2 in a row this quickly. He's going to hold the title until he fights Mysterio, and then Mysterio is actually going to win it right and not have a botched ending like it did the last time. And then that way there's no doubt with it.
I can see Ricochet actually having something with Rey Mysterio after he gets healed up too.
Same here.
Exactly.
Here.
That's what Pete brings up. He agrees with the Gordito Crunchwrap that Ricochet is getting his push with the title, because how much better would a match for the title be of Mysterio versus Ricochet with the high flying versus as opposed to Samoa Joe?
That match is going to be phenomenal when it happens. No pun intended. But yeah, I'm going with Joe, even though I could see Ricochet winning, but in my heart of hearts, I think it's going to go to Joe.
All right, cool. We're flying through this pretty quick.
Faster than a Gordita Crunch will fly through your system. Hashtag not sponsored.
I punch
set me up for that one.
I punch and kick very hard.
and very, very fast.
So let's go to our lone tag team title match, it looks like.
Ooh, Pete brings up a good point. He's like, I bet Ricochet was supposed to fight Ray before the injury. That could have very well been a thing in play too.
Absolutely. That's why I'm saying that Samoa Joe wins this one, only because of the fact that they have so much going on right now that is going to be something where they'll fight again and lose it, or he'll win it in SummerSlam, and then that'll just open up the gates for him and Ricochet to hopefully carry something through Survivor Series.
It would really explain the whole factor of the Drew McIntyre Ricochet together as a tag team build up story, and then all of a sudden them being split where they were probably trying. Huh?
Drew McIntyre and Ricochet.
No, not Drew. Sorry. But when Ricochet was
teaming with Aleister Black.
Aleister Black. That's what I meant. So sorry. It would explain that whole where they were setting that up as the tag team, and then all of a sudden they split them up because they probably were setting it up to get the Rey Mysterio storyline of them against each other, but then he got hurt, and now they just have to continue with the being separate.
Since you bring up Aleister Black, I want to see him and Randy Orton have a feud. Ooh. That would be so sadistic and amazing. But we continue.
Yes, we continue.
And that shows my level of how much wrestling I watch, because I just saw 2 big guys with black hair and mixed Drew McIntyre up with Aleister Black. That's why I'm not a regular. I'm just the producer sitting behind the scenes.
But you know what? For someone who doesn't really watch it as much, you are very knowledgeable, sir.
I'm really good at faking it.
Yes, he is. All right, so we got a tag team match. Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery. This was just, I think, thrown in this last week as well. Mini beefy quesadilla. What does Bearded?
I'm starting this one.
Oh, you're okay.
I'm going to start this one.
Go ahead and let that quesadilla cool down a little bit.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Let it simmer for a second. So, yes, this match does seem like it's a thrown together match. And there's a little bit of a build-up for it, and it's good. But the fact that we brought it, we said it before. Last year's SmackDown Tag Team division was on fire. Yeah, it sucked. It kept going back and forth between the New Day, the Usos, and the Bar. But not just those three fighting for the titles. You had like the entire division that was pretty like fun to watch and entertaining to watch. That was one of the things I loved tuning into SmackDown. Now it's just gone to crap, man. And then I understand, giving the titles of Bryan and Rowan because they're the biggest names on there. But they haven't really done anything with it. You kind of have that serious side of the thing, and with some of the, notice with a lot of the tag teams. I mean, look at the New Day. Look how comical they are, but look how amazing they are in the ring and the money that it draws. I'm not saying, there's no other tag team that will be on that level of New Day, unless you count Attitude Era DX, but they're in their league of its own. With that being said, I thoroughly enjoy watching Heavy Machinery. I get a laugh. I get a laugh out of watching them, and watching them in the ring is pretty funny. I think Heavy Machinery is going to walk out with the titles. It seems like just to try to breathe a little bit of life in, more than like the Daniel Bryan save the planet kind of thing going on right now. So, Heavy Machinery.
Dork. Gosh. Okay, Soft Taco Supreme. What's going on?
There really is no joke that I can make about this. He took Heavy Machinery as well. That's the joke enough in itself. I even I would have not picked them, not watching wrestling that often. So Bearded Master takes Heavy Machinery.
Stakes and weights. Stakes and weights.
Telling you right now, this
aren't they the guys that wear the onesies? So.
Yes, they're the onesies, and they're talking about stakes and weights. Their finishing move, the compactor, is fantastic.
It gets dangerously close to those things getting rolled up, and then we're in trouble, dude.
Same thing can be said about Big E, but let's go.
Big E is muscle.
Yeah, I know.
That's all I gotta say. Daniel Bryan and Rowan are gonna win because Heavy Machinery are a joke. I'm sorry, but this tag team is too much of an 80s era tag team that I don't see fans getting into this stuff. I really don't, man. I want to see some freaking wrestling. I want to see some high flying. I want to see some power moves. I don't want to see someone doing the worm. Oh, excuse me, the caterpillar. I don't want to see someone borrowing stuff from the 80s and 90s and stakes and weights and being a joke. Do you really see them being tag team champs? That's rough, man. That's not going to do anything for the tag team division, man.
It wouldn't surprise in terms of WWE writing. I mean, that in all honesty.
No, I mean
Vince likes them. So
that's another reason why Vince needs to be gone, because if he likes Heavy Machinery, then that dude's obviously taking too many chair shots to the head, and he's trying to go back to Hulk Hogan era.
Hey! I like Heavy Machinery than the Viking Experience name.
You know what? I will go with that, but at the same time, though, at least the Viking Experience can actually hold a belt and actually be legitimate. These guys, I haven't liked these guys since they've rolled into NXT, and I haven't liked them since. They're just a joke tag team, and they're not really that athletic. They're just, like I said, this is like watching Typhoon and freaking Earthquake from the 80s all over again. That's what it is.
Okay, so you're saying Otis, the big old guy, is not athletic, but you seen a big old guy like that doing the caterpillar and you're not impressed?
No, I'm not impressed.
Okay.
Go ahead and take...
It's centrifugal motion. Once you get it started, you can't stop. It just happens.
Yeah, exactly. And he's probably imagining a steak or a cheeseburger at the end of it. I don't know.
By the way, Petopoulos agrees with you, Masonic Vader, and says Team Bryan.
Thank you. See, this guy, Pete and I are on the same wavelength, man. He sees what's going on. I kid you not. Every time I look at Heavy Machinery, I'm going to bag on them one more time. They're stealing stuff. It's the 80s mixed in with Grandmaster Sexay and freaking, what's his name?
Funkmaster Flex.
Yeah, man.
No. Scotty Too Hotty.
It's because they are trying to appease to the older generation like you that always talks about Hulk Hogan and all the old stuff that nobody remembers anymore.
Nope, they ain't appealing to me whatsoever. You want Pete on me? Give me Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I didn't say they were appealing. I said they're trying to appealing. There's a big difference.
I actually agree with Bearded One. He is either a dumb fool or a drunken genius.
I'm hoping to go with the latter, or the first one. Excuse me, not the latter. All right, so you guys have heavy machinery, and I'm the only one that's sane on that one. All right, there we go. All right, so now we go into the 4 main titles. We've got both the ladies and both the men's titles on the line this pay-per-view. I'm going to go with the men first because ladies, I know it's always ladies first, but for some reason when I look at these
matchups, the ladies seem
a little more appealing. Yeah. So let's start off with Kofi and Dolph for the WWE championship. God, there's a lot of great heat going on with Dolph Ziggler's back to heel form, which is awesome. Man, just ripping into him over this last SmackDown, and then Kofi coming back at him saying, "Yeah, after this, you're gonna go ahead and go do some more comedy shows or something like that." I mean, it was just back and forth, which was great.
Which, according to Bearded Master, his stand-up comedy is actually pretty good.
I've heard the same thing.
Well, Bearded Solomon, remember when he was?
I remember that. Yeah, and there's a lot of good reviews of it. But however, we're talking about a wrestling match right now. Yep. Yeah, a lot of heat that's coming over the last. I didn't know how this would play out when it first started, but man, heel Ziggler. That's all I gotta say. This guy's right back to form. As far as who wins it, now that's a whole thing here. You got different scenarios to go. If you go one way where Kofi wins, then New Day is still on top and everything's right with the world. If Kofi loses, now you have a strong heel. But then you start like New Day wouldn't lose their overall swag, but now Kofi comes back to being a mid carder again, because that's exactly what will happen. He'll get a rematch, but ultimately he won't hold that title for a long time again. So I'm still kind of like on the fence on this one. So I haven't heard any of your guys' picks, and I'm not using them as I'm still thinking about. I want to hear your explanation. Let's start with you, Mindfreak, on who's going to win it, why.
I'm in the same boat as you, man. This is one of those matches where it's
do not say razor thin.
Do not say razor thin. It's razor thin.
It's boss time.
It can go either way.
Yeah, it can go either way. I can see. No, it literally is. One hand you have Dolph, great heat, pick right back up into it. I figured there may be a little rust or ring rust, maybe a little bit of mic rust, but no, Dolph is on top of his game still. But then on the other hand, you have Kofi, and the fact that Kofi is riding this, he has so much support from everybody, and he's doing a fantastic job as champion. For that reason, I'm going to say Kofi retains and keeps the title a little bit longer to keep riding this out because like you said, once he loses it, he's going back to the mid-card, and that's where he's most likely going to be. So I think you continue to let Kofi ride this out. I even said when he won it that he's most likely going to hold this title till SummerSlam.
All right, Gordito Crunch, shredded chicken burrito, whatever we're calling you now. Where's Bearded Master at?
Well, I'm trying to figure out his picks once again, and I think what happened was today on Twitter, Jim Broadbent was all over. He was trending because he had these really creepy wooden statues that he made, and I think that scared the Bearded Master a little bit. And as you know, Jim Broadbent played a character by the name of Ziggler in Moulin Rouge, so he thinks he can, and if he can, then he can, and he picks Ziggler.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, has solidified us as being on a nerd channel, because that is definitely nerd related, big time.
I
Kudos.
really, really had to go to get that one. So.
Kudos on that one, sir.
Yes, standing ovation, standing ovation. Wonderful.
I'm also thinking that the big issue is I think what happened was Bearded Master just looked at what Pete was going to pick and decided to go completely opposite, because like it's every pick is opposite. Pete says Kofi in the chat room as well. So,
all right. So with my pick, I'm actually going to go with Kofi Kingston, and the reason why I'm going Kofi is, like I mentioned earlier, they can't let him lose it just yet because he's too good to go back mid card. They're gonna, once he loses the belt's gonna start jumping, and it's gonna be open up to a bunch of different wrestlers. And with SmackDown coming around soon, going Fox, blah blah blah, he's gonna win, and more likely will lose it at SummerSlam on a bigger stage, to someone that will take it and move it on, potentially Randy Orton, who knows, to the Fox brand, and because they've already got the advertisements going up for it. So
Brock.
Kofi, you are still the guy after this weekend. But I will say Dolph Ziggler still needs to be up there, because the way he's cutting promos right now, the border sanity thing to me at this point, where it seems like he's starting to go a little insane in the membrane or something. I would like to see him continue to be up there, because right now there's a lot of creativity issues, and right now he's got the pulse and the creativity.
Damn,
so
I have Cypress Hill stuck in my head now because of you.
Yeah, same here.
Insane in the brain.
But we gotta take it easy now, because
going insane. Got no brain.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, definitely not.
It is
right.
The Smack Talk rendition. It's okay. As long as it's a rendition.
Yes, it's a rendition.
It is definitely a rendition. Okay, so we have the other match now. Title match.
Which I think this is going to be the one where we agree on across the board.
You know what, though? I don't... Wait. Let's first of all talk about what match it is. It's Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin, okay, for the Universal title. Now, that being said, okay, there are a lot of X factors that play into this, okay? Let's talk, for example, whoever wins is more likely going to lose it within 5 seconds, because I'm sure this will probably be the time where Brock Lesnar cashes it in. You don't think so, Mindfreak?
No. And this, you know what? Okay, no. And here's the reason why. I'm going to tell you why. It's a WWE swerve.
You're going to tell us why? Because
I'm telling you, it's a WWE swerve. They're focusing everything on Brock going after Seth, after the Universal Champion. When in reality, the biggest name that you have, one of the main reasons why we have this wild card rule, with people crossing over and all that stuff, it's a swerve. Brock is actually going to cash in on Kofi and carry the WWE Championship when SmackDown moves to Fox. It's a swerve. It makes sense. If you're Vince, you're thinking, hey, what can we do to make this kick off Fox with a bang? What has a bigger draw name than Brock Lesnar? As much as I hate it, that's what's going to happen.
Is he, though? I'm going to pull out a Bearded Master. Is he a big name draw? I think he was a big name draw when he came back the last time.
People hate him, but he still is. It's because of the fact that Fox had UFC and the UFC show on there, which I think they're going to move it, or if they haven't canceled already, or something happened with that. So to try to bring those UFC guys, bringing Brock over and try to jump into that fan base, yeah.
Hey, welcome to the chat, Script Chaz, and thank you for the comments.
Script Chaz, welcome.
Once again, you forget that the way that you introduce people is you say, welcome, Script Chaz. Thank you.
I want to hear Gordita Crunch Supreme do the best in the world introduction for Shane McMahon.
I don't know.
I don't. And I don't know if you could tell, but my voice isn't probably the greatest right now, so I couldn't do one of those if I tried. So here's the thing. You have Baron Corbin. I don't know how many championship matches he's had. He's been in the mix. he has not fallen the wayside as much as most people want to, and he's fighting the good fight. As much as I hate to say this, most people in his situation would probably get pissed off and start talking about how they're going to go to a different brand, a different company, and he hasn't. And he's taken a lot of heat, and he's had these matches, and he's lost every single title match, and he's getting another one. I mean, how many times have you seen it where someone's had so many title matches and they've lost every one, and then they finally win one? And I don't think they would have him win it at a big show like, say, SummerSlam. Why wouldn't they let him win it at Stomping Grounds? So someone could freaking take it from him, or he gets a month of screen time before he gets beat down at SummerSlam by whoever wins against him, and then Brock Lesnar destroys them all. Why would it? I'm just saying. I know your mind's hurting right there because I'm making sense. Yeah, go walk away. I got the better half here, Nacho Gordito here, anyways. Nacho Gordito, what did Bearded Master pick on this one?
Well, as we know, slightly less man crush on Seth Rollins is who he picked, because it's basically Roman Reigns and Seth are his biggest man crush. He wants to be the Seth Roman meat in the sandwich.
I can tell you right now, he's got an infatuation with the long hair guys. I think that's what it is. They all have long hair that we've talked about tonight. Gordito, you have produced. What do you want to call it?
By the way, when he watches this, he's going to be right. Like, "What the heck is going on?"
He's right. He can't grow the hair up here to have all the hair, so it's down here. That's why.
I would just like to say that was not me that said that. That was Bearded. That was Mindfreak. So
yes.
Just remember, don't hate me for that.
Bearded, much love, brother.
Especially coming from the fact that I'm looking at Mindfreak right now, and I don't see much growing on top of your nugget either.
Exactly.
I'm bald. I'm bald.
I support the follically challenged.
I my head bald because I'm bald. Enough said. I'm not going to say anything else about that. I'll let you guys think what you want. I'm bald. I've accepted the fact that I'm bald.
All right, so who do you got picked, man?
Rollins.
You got Rollins as well?
Rollins. And Pete going in the chat. Seth wins with Kurt Angle as the guest referee.
I'd be interested to see how Kurt Angle becomes the guest referee on that.
Yeah, me too. But
it's supposed to be Baron Corbin's pick, right?
Yeah.
Baron Corbin's supposed to pick the guest referee.
You should see when I ride out on the truck like Kurt Angle and spray Baja Blast everywhere.
Jeez. All right, and so when it comes to my pick,
hold on. I can't believe I haven't asked this question. Gordita, does your theme song have the Taco Bell bell like the Undertaker has the Dead Man bell?
You better believe it will now.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Dong.
We're going to Streamer Hell. We're definitely going to Streamer Hell. Oh damn!
My catchphrase is: "You make a run for the 3 count."
Or the bathroom. New Day's throwing out pancakes. He's throwing out quesadillas. Flicking them. Oh my gosh. No, and after he wins with the 3 count, he pulls a King Kong Bundy and does 5, but he has the Taco Bell gongs.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
And don't forget that I walk out with my little chihuahua on my pillow as I walk out onto this, and I just hand him off.
You get no cinnamon twist.
Pete, throw it out there. I want a Gordito spin quesadilla to the crowd like New Day with pancakes. Absolutely, sir.
It says spitting water like Triple H. He spits salsa.
Well, I said ketchup, and then
Pete said salsa. Yes.
And for all you fans of the Midwest, I know how you guys are. It'd be ranch dressing, you weirdos. Yeah. And I say that in a good way.
Wait. Are you actually saying somebody puts ranch on their Taco Bell?
Oh man, they put it on their Taco John. That's the equivalent of Taco Bell out there. Yeah, I spent 5 years out in Nebraska, and I love my buddies out there. But the weirdest damn thing ever is looking at a salsa bar and seeing mild, hot ranch. That's it.
Anyway, we have 2 title matches left.
So the picks.
Oh, I haven't even made my pick yet. Now, after all this, man, I'm gonna break you guys up. And I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. All right, so we're...
See, I called it! I called it!
Come on, I ain't going to pull fucking bear cord.
And this is where, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it elsewhere, you will hear, it's unanimous.
It's unanimous.
Smith-Chaz, I'm sorry you don't have Taco Bell down there in Australia, man. That sucks.
If you're down in Australia, man, you got the Iconics. That's good enough for me.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, that's a good rebuttal. Yeah, you may not have Taco Bell, but you have the Iconics. So,
and you know what? Foster's is good too. I like Foster's.
No. I actually, a gentleman that was a friend of mine that was Australian was like, got really pissed when he heard that Foster's is Australian beer because he said it's like our Bud Light is what like Foster's is to Australia.
Yep.
So no,
do
not.
No. What's in there? I'll drink it then because everything that I've had from Australia is awesome.
It is
very well,
but there's much better beer than Foster's. From
yes, there is. There's much better beer than Foster's in Australia.
There's not many selections around here from Australia beers. Sorry, it's all local craft. So I'll give you an address. You can send me some. Be good in the hood. All right. We got 2 matches. 2 more title matches going to the ladies now. Gosh, they're both going to be good ones. I'm going to start off with the SmackDown one, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. So there's an interesting thing about this because Alexa right now is currently Raw roster. Bayley is SmackDown. Okay, which will probably lead people to make the decision on who they're going to pick to win. But this is going to be a good match. This is Alexa's first real, true match or test of a match since she's been back from an injury. She's had some matches here and there, but they haven't been title matches. They've just been regular matches, and they haven't lasted long. I think a lot of them had.
I think like a 5-minute match was the longest.
Yeah, they've all been 5-minute matches or DQ matches or something like that. Something's been going on.
Or her sitting on the outside of the ring sipping coffee.
Yeah. Or it's supposed to be a live event and ends up being Natalya, which I was very happy to see Natalya too. She's awesome. So we have Bayley and Alexa. Okay. I think I started last and you started last before Mindfreak, so I think it's to Nacho Belgrande. What does Bearded Master have for this pick, sir?
The first pick that I absolutely 100% agree with that Bearded Master has picked, and he takes Bayley. So, because she's on a hot streak. So.
Yes, I concur. I will go with Bayley as well because not only is she not on a hot streak, but as you can tell, I think she's finally found her niche. That's not the huggy or the huggable Bayley. This is the first Bayley I've seen since she's been in WWE. She's still likable. She still comes out with the blow up guys and stuff like that.
We are playing 2 ends. Thank you. We are playing 2 ends. Hi, I'm Hartson.
Yeah, but she's got I don't want to call it a mean streak, but definitely a serious streak, and she's starting to whoop some ass out there. As Stomping Grounds is.
It's Bayley without the Sasha Banks crutch. The Bayley that we deserve.
Yes.
The Bayley that we
lost time.
Yeah. No, it's the Bayley that we've deserved to have. And I know a lot of people are out there probably making their picks. Oh, Bayley's going to win because Sasha's on Raw. No, they could easily have Alexa come back over to SmackDown because Buddy's going to be on SmackDown. But anyway, no, Bayley, like you said, has found her niche, and the fact that she just won the title the way she did, and then to have her lose it on the first pay-per-view after winning it, it just doesn't make sense. When she won the Raw Women's Championship, she had a very good run with it. But I think it was cut short her Raw title was cut a little bit short, given who was on that brand, and the back and forth that we had between Sasha and Charlotte. So I think with her on SmackDown, yeah, you still have Charlotte there, but the fact that Sasha's not in the picture anymore, you can actually get Bayley, the Bayley that we deserve to have, and she's going to have not a long title run, but she's going to have not like a really super long title run, but she's going to have a good title run nonetheless, and it's something that she deserves. And yes, I'm going with Bayley as well, and I agree with Pete. It is hard to pick against Bliss because she is the goddess. But I'm picking Bayley. But this is where we differ, though, Pete. You're picking Bayley with a DQ from Nikki Cross, which I can see, but I don't think it's going to happen in this match.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to go on there is that Bayley isn't the one that loses championships after she wins them. That's Sasha Banks. So,
yes.
Yeah. So until Sasha wants to show up and defend herself in these, so you're more than welcome to come to our chat here, or just show up again and instead of quit balling about contracts or whatever else you're talking about. Yeah. No, Bayley's going to win this one. She's taken over. I really think she's making a very significant impact on the women's division now, and I think
in her own way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, Becky 2 belts is still, at the top of the list of who I want to have both of those. Mm-hmm. But it makes sense, and I'm happy that Bayley has it, and I want to see a very entertaining run with her.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm going with Bayley as that as well. So I think that's all three of us again on that one, right?
That is all three.
It's unanimous.
You didn't lean into the camera and give us a nice Batman voice of talking about not the Bayley that we need, but the Bayley that we deserve.
This is the Bayley that we deserve, not what we need.
You got the line wrong, man.
I know I did.
Holy
I'm tired. I'm a couple Steve Weisers in tonight. I'll admit that.
It's not the Bayley that we need, but the Bayley that we deserve should have been the
Bayley that we deserve.
And we just lost our nerd cred. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, I'm not a Batman guy. I've always said that. I have nothing against Batman, but I'm not a Batman guy, so.
All right, so we have the final match.
Wait, do we want to drag out some more time?
No. We actually do have to drag out at least 30 seconds, but I thank you, MALICE-CORP, for allowing us to do this show tonight. All right, so we've got the man.
I am the man.
Becky Lynch, which, by the way, once again, this is a phenomenal shirt.
Oh, that is a great shirt.
Now, is the design on the back, is it like, does it actually say the man? No, the design on her back, on your shirt,
Yes.
Does it actually say the man, or is it like everybody that tries to get a tattoo that says I'm fierce or strong, and then ends up saying like puppy or something?
Dash Monkey delivers on Thursdays.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to go ahead and just butcher anything, so I'm going to say I don't know. I'm just going to say it's a phenomenal shirt.
I know somebody who would know that, believe it or not.
We need to find that out because
we need to ask. We'll talk after show. And we'll get back to you
because it has to say the man. It can't say Irish lady.
Irish slash kicker. Anyway, Becky Lynch versus the sassy Southern Belle Lacey Evans.
Yes, and once again saw her in person. She's shorter than I expected.
Cameras do amazing work, my friend.
She looks much taller on TV, but no, I mean she's tall for a woman, but she almost looked like she was 6 foot on camera. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Oh no, the camera does all types of stuff. I'm actually only 3'4".
You're a mini gordita.
Pete in the chat says it says Irish whiskey.
That would be awesome. That would be amazing. I would go along with.
I would buy that shirt too. I'm going to buy that shirt.
Actually, it needs to say, "I wish I had more whiskey."
So we got Becky and Lacey. This has actually been a pretty back and forth, kind of like it's been underappreciated, underrated. I understand that people look at her as like the poor man's Charlotte or the Southern Charlotte or whatever you want to call it, but she's got talent. I've spoke highly about her since her NXT days, and it's getting better. I think kind of like how when Lars Sullivan first came into the big show, he was a little overwhelmed with the situation. I think the same thing happened with Lacey initially, but as every match she does, it gets better and better. She gets more comfortable in the ring with the bigger crowds, and her movesets are getting better and better as well. Is she the one to dethrone the man? That's the question of the night. Can she pull it off?
You think she will? Because you said it before when we picked this last time and you lost.
I've said it before, yeah. I don't think it's the right time. I think the man holds on to her belt. But I'm telling you right now, Lacey Evans will be the person that takes that belt from her. It will more likely be either SummerSlam or post SummerSlam, depending on how giddy they feel about trying to make things crazy for SmackDown or excuse me, make things crazy for Raw after SummerSlam. Trying to figure that out. So I'm picking the man. The man.
I'm gonna be picking the man as well.
I'm assuming Gordita Crunchwrap, Bearded Master picked the man.
He does pick the man, but he that stinking little blonde had to get her mitts in it because he says that she wins by Charlotte interference.
It's unanimous.
Okay.
Hey, still long hair, but not brown or not dark.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm picking Becky because like with what you said, absolutely right. It will be Lacey that takes the belt from her, but if you take the belt off Becky this soon, it kind of like devalues everything that she's done. Like, yes, her losing one of the belts is understandable, and we kind of knew that was going to happen. That did happen. But for her to lose her other belt on the very next pay-per-view, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah. It doesn't. Like Becky could lose, could lose regular match here and there. That's a non-title match, but you will devalue everything that you have built up Becky Lynch to be if you make her lose the belt this early.
Pete says Becky for all the cinnamon twists. But now here's the other thing, and I think this is the real reason why she's not going to lose it. Is for the simple fact that it's the off-screen, out of the ring stuff that's driving this too. Obviously, Seth Rollins and her are an item. There are a couple. I know at this point, Bearded Master would start cutting me off, but let's be perfectly frank. I think WWE sees value in this. And they're not afraid to show it either. Have you seen some of the interactions in the video they've been doing? So I think that's part of this whole thing, that they've got these guys as champs right now, and it's a positive for them as a whole. So I think she's going to hold on to the belt longer. I think she's going to go through SummerSlam. I think this rivalry.
Now that you bring that up, it's an interesting point. And like you said, with her and Seth together, and they're both the champs, have them ride it. I think I might say, you ride this, but at the same time keep them built up. You have them both lose their belts on the same night.
The same night they get married. 24/7 rules. They get pins. I do.
No, I'm just thinking as a thought, because then it's they both lost their championships, but they're still one of the hottest things. Absolutely. As a couple and not as a couple. Yeah,
it's a really interesting time as things are kind of trying to work themselves through this whole SmackDown conversion, and I think I saw this even on an interview. Oh no, it was Ride Along, the DX Ride Along for WrestleMania. They even mentioned, man, any of this stuff you see outside, like nowadays, like this whole Becky and Seth thing would never have happened 15 years ago. And see how it's played out now, and how you could easily just go on Twitter and see all this other stuff and whatever. It's a crazy world. I think wrestlers have to be more on their game now than they ever have to because of the fact that they are running these two separate lives, and they have to really separate them. So, but there you go, guys. That's the show. Do you think Brock Lesnar tries to cash in, or do you think he waits?
He waits. He's going to cash in on Kofi.
Cool. All right, there you go.
It's a factor that they're having too much fun writing the when will he cash in? Will he do it now? Yeah, no.
Find out later on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball. No. Hashtag not a sponsor.
All right. So, hey, so other than over the shoulder, your right shoulder there, where else can they find these fine viewers can follow you, sir?
Just follow who?
Mindfreak.
You guys watching at home from the comfort of your bed, living room, wherever you guys are watching us. You can follow me right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/VTV Mindfreak. And I said it a couple weeks ago, had a little bit of delay. Next week, Moments with Mindfreak stream will be back. So check it out, guys. I'm going to have the streaming schedule, everything set up for that. We're good to go. Streaming on Monday, actually. This coming Monday, guys. So tune in.
Nice. Chalupa, do you know where you can follow a Bearded Master?
Well, it is written right next to me, but at a Bearded Master on Twitter, and you can also follow him at his other show, which is on hiatus right now, but Boot to the Face. Great wrestling podcast. And every once in a while, he'll appear in the chat room if you want to chit-chat with him when we do All Things Nerd, or we talk about Fear the Walking Dead and other things like that.
And you can follow me at Masonic Vader, Masonic Vader 71 on the PlayStation Network. And man, this is a special moment for me, as this is the first time I have actually seen the bell.
Oh yes, same here.
If you have been a fan or have seen our shows on and off and everything, you know that for the first year we had literally one of those little bells at the hotel when you need service. Oh, you have it? Yes. So that's how we used to end our shows. And then we decided to upgrade it. We got that bell on some HGH and whatever kind of other stuff that wrestlers take nowadays.
Stallone said get a bigger bell, and so we brought a bell.
Got a bell, and we got a legit bell. So
I'm sorry, you said HGH, and I thought of Stallone.
Yeah. So we got the bell right here. And so we're going to be able to see how we always like to finish off our cast with the 1, 2, 3.
Wife is going to kill me.
Lift it up.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Yes, not a sponsor.
Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week when we'll be talking about results from Stomping Grounds.
You guys luckily got the real bell, because now when I edit this, it's going to be the Taco Bell 3 times.
Good night, guys.